Hello again, and here we are looking at the Saints, the music on vinyl reissue of Prehistoric Sounds, limited edition of 1,000 individually numbered copies on silver colored vinyl. Includes an insert, 180-gram audiophile vinyl. I really like the releases that Music on Vinyl have been doing. Like, I think that they do a great version and great release and great quality of releases. I've got a bunch of stuff that they've put out, and I've always been happy with them. So here is Prehistoric Sounds, the third album by the Saints, the legendary Australian punk band. I love the Saints. This is pretty much the album that I stop on. This to me is like the last Saints record that I really enjoy. After that, I thought they were very hit and miss. But the first three records, especially the first two records, oh my God, I'm Stranded and Eternally Yours, those albums are fantastic. This one comes in at number 3, and it is the third one, I guess, if I was to rank the top 3 of the first 3. Let's have a look at the back cover. There we have the band. Very, very cool. Now, I've got to say, I've only ever seen the Saints once. And when I saw them, it was actually the worst gig that I've ever seen. And it was no fault of these 3 guys because they weren't even in the band. Chris had a different backing band, and it just wasn't a good show. It was an off night for them. They played really slow. It was just kind of a mess at times. I remember a lot of people leaving with confused looks on their face, like, what did we just watch? It wasn't the greatest show. And it was really sad to see, the Saints like that because, when they did I'm Stranded, it was like at half the speed. And it just sounded, I don't know, it didn't have it. I couldn't connect with it. And that's quite sad. It was the only time I ever got to see the Saints with Chris singing. And it just unfortunately wasn't their night. But you know what? The albums are freaking awesome. So let's have a look at this one. This one is numbered. There's the number there. This one's 836 of 1,000. So this album originally came out in 1978. And I really, really like this record. Like I said, it's not my favorite. Obviously, it goes in the order of the 3. I'm Stranded is like the greatest. Eternally Yours is up there. And Prehistoric Sounds is pretty damn good as well. I really like these 3. It's just, after that, I just felt kind of hit and miss for me. But that's just a personal thing. I know people who love the Saints the whole way through, and that's totally fine because, you like what you like. If you connect with the music, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what some person on the internet thinks of your opinion of liking other records that they don't or don't connect with or whatever. And it shouldn't matter. So, when people get all caps lock in the comments going, screw that album, blah, 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 I always wonder, why do you care? Like, seriously, just why do you care? Like, when people click thumbs down on a video when all you're doing is talking about a record, like, someone's going to click thumbs down on this because they don't agree with probably the fact that I like this record and they don't. It's so ridiculous. Nobody cares. Get over it, man. If you don't like the record, scroll on and find a record that you do like. Clicking thumbs down we don't know who you are, so it doesn't really matter. Like, why should we care what you think? It's just an anonymous thumbs down. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. There is the insert. Very, very cool. Looks like school photos of the band. There's the lyrics. For those people who enjoy singing along and they can't work it out what he's saying half the time, there you go. Awesome. And here is the record on glorious silver vinyl. Nice. So there we go. That's just a quick look at Prehistoric Sounds, the music on vinyl reissue. This is just to show you what it looks like for those people like me who get curious about releases, just saying, is there anything that comes with it or anything particular, posters, etc. I look online for videos like that for some of these records, and I just can't seem to find them. I assume there are other people out there in the world who probably think the way I do and are probably curious and probably wondering, is that any good? Well, here it is. I can tell you now, this pressing sounds fantastic. I've listened to it. It sounds really good. It's a really good pressing. So if you don't want to spend ridiculous amounts of money on a Prehistoric Sounds original pressing, because trust me, they are so stupidly priced right now. It's kind of ridiculous. So you can pick this up pretty cheap. So I would recommend doing so. There we go, my friends. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Long Gone Is a Rock Show. Do yourself a favor, check out the Saints if you haven't done so yet. The first 3 records are fantastic. Well, the first 2 are the greatest. They are amazing records. This one's pretty good as well. So, yeah, Prehistoric Sounds, my friends, by Brisbane band The Saints. Take care of yourself, look after each other. Yeah, go buy some records.